And when he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees till noon and then died. And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God. So where's he at? On the bed of the man of God. Where? In the upper room where there's what? The bed, table, and chair. Understand? Stay with me. And shut the door upon him and went out. And then she called her husband and said, please send me one of the young men and one of the donkeys that I may run to the man of God and come back. So he said, why are you going to him today? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, it is well. Notice the argument ended. They got it back then even, right? What are you doing? I said it's well. Okay, I see. Peace be unto you. Y'all ain't laughing because you know it's true. You don't want your wife to be mad, and you guys don't want to admit it, so it's all right. I said, love you, baby. Verse 24. Then she saddled the donkey, said to her servant, drive and go forward. Do not slacken the pace unless I tell you. And so she departed and went to the man of God at Mount Carmel. And so it was that the man of God saw her from afar off and said to his servant Gehazi, look, the Shunammite woman. So he knew she was coming. Amen. Please run now to meet her and say to her, is it well with you? Is it well with your husband? Is it well with the child? And she answered, it is well. So she just told her husband, it is I just realized something. I'm preaching this a minute. She tells the servant of God what? It was never dead to her, was it? You get it in a minute. I just need to thank you, Lord. Verse 27. Now when she came to the man of God the hill, she caught him by the feet, and Gehazi came near to push her away. But the man of God said, let her alone, for her soul is in deep distress, and the Lord has hidden it from me, and he has not told me. So she said, did I ask the son, my Lord? Did I not say, do not conceive me? Do not deceive me. Oh boy. Then he said to Gehazi, get yourself ready and take my staff in your hand. So Gehazi take whose staff? Okay, I know I'm repeating this stuff, but you got to understand this, right? And be on your way. If you meet anyone, do not greet him. And if anyone greets you, do not answer him. But lay my staff on the child's face. Lay it where? Where's the child? In the upper room. And what's in the upper room? A bed. And the green grass grows all around in the green grass, right? And the mother of the child said, as the Lord lives and as your soul lives, I will not leave you. So he arose and followed her. Now Gehazi went on ahead of them and laid the staff on the child's face, but there was neither voice nor hearing. Therefore he went back to meet him and told him, saying, the child was not awakened. When Elisha came into the house, there was the child laying on his bed, on Elisha's bed, right? He went in therefore and shut the door behind the two of them and prayed to the Lord. Behind the two of them. The boy and Elisha. Because if Gehazi had been in there, there'd been... Okay, why are you doing all this? It's going to make sense in a minute. You just got to bear with me for a minute. So there's two in the room, Elisha and the boy. The boy's on the bed. The staff's on his face. So what's left? The table and chairs, the lampstand, and Elisha, right? Takes notes. I told you if you keep notes, you need to write this thing. I ain't got notes. This is just in my brain. It's Lord Jesus. And watch what he did. Watch this. He shut the door behind him and prayed to the Lord. He went up and lay on the child and put his mouth on his mouth, his eyes on his eyes, and his hand on his hands, and stretched himself on the child and became fresh, and the child, and the flesh of the child became warm, and he returned and walked back and forth in the house, and again went up and stretched himself on him, and the child sneezed 7 times. The child opened his eyes, and he called Gehazi and said, call the Shunammite woman. And so he called her, and when she came into him, he said, pick up your son. So she went in, fell at his feet, and bowed to the ground, and she picked up her son and went out. Lord, I pray, God, you hide behind your cross. Allow me to preach this how you have me preach it, God. Lord, I love you, God. I thank you for all that you've done and all that you're going to do. In Jesus' name, amen. So here we go. So she's got this boy. The boy has died. They got this upper room built for Elisha. There's the bed, table and chairs, the lampstand, right? The boy dies. Tells her husband it is well. So he doesn't have any idea, right? Goes out. She goes towards Gehazi. Towards Elisha. Gehazi comes. She tells him it is well, right? Man of God comes. So we read this, so we go through this. So I began to think about this for a minute, and I began to think about Gehazi and where it would put him. And I've preached some of this before, but I want to go so much deeper this morning, if that's okay with everybody in the house. Amen. So I began to think about this and think about Gehazi and where his faith must be. He knows that, the common folk don't talk. I mean, it's all this separation of religious leaders and prophets and all this stuff. So that's why Elisha kept having Gehazi go to the woman. Right? And bring the chain of command kind of thing. And so, anyway, so Gehazi is there, and Gehazi's name, if you don't know, means Valley of Visions, or vision. So it means vision. So that's what his name means. And so you got to think for just a moment. The staff in the Bible always represents some form of authority. It's authority. That's what it was. I mean, even to this day, tribal leaders in Africa who were the kings or princes of their tribes have staffs that represent who they are. That's the leader, right? Even to this day. So it always represents some sort of authority. So now watch what happens. So Gehazi goes, he asks the woman, talks to the woman in the very first part of it. He's still with Elisha. He goes out. Elisha's told him to go greet this woman and ask her if everything's okay. He's done what he was asked to do again. All of a sudden he gets up there. He stands between the woman and Elisha because he's the armor bearer, and that's what he's supposed to do, right? He don't know what she wants. So he got up and everything as well while you're grabbing hold of him. And Elisha says, so he's still doing what he's supposed to do. Then all of a sudden it comes out, and so Elisha says, take my staff and go, right? So he goes with the child. He's still being obedient. He's still doing everything he's supposed to do. He rolls up to the house. He climbs up the stairs. He opens the door. He takes the staff. He lays it on the child. And nothing happened. Now hold on a minute. I've been obedient. I've done everything I was asked to do. I've done everything I was supposed to do. And nothing changed. How many of us have put forth time, put forth effort, done everything we're supposed to, even to the point of exhaustion sometimes, and feel like it's for absolutely no reason or no point? Right? I've been there. Right? I've been there. We've been there. And so I began to think about this Gehazi vision. I began to think about this. Now remember, so Elisha shows up. He gets there, right? And he gets in the room, and he looks, and so it says to shut the door behind who? With just the two of them in there. So now let's look at what's in the room and what's not in this room. What's in the room? Elisha and the boy, the staff, the bed, the table and chairs, and the lamp. Right? So this is pretty easy. So we already know the Gehazi's name. Well, who's not in there? Gehazi or the woman, right? Now watch. The woman, she doesn't tell anybody because she doesn't want any doubt that this boy has died. She doesn't want anybody to interfere with what she knows could happen if the man of God shows up, right? So she's keeping doubt out of the way. So then, so when Gehazi gets there, nothing happens. Gehazi needs vision. Well, why couldn't Gehazi do it? Because you got to understand, Gehazi was sent with the authority. So the prophet, so he wasn't just sent forward. He was sent forward with the authority. And still nothing happened, because you got to understand, Gehazi's name means vision. He started looking through his own eyes. And so when we start looking through our own eyes at the situations we're in, that's where doubt and worry and fear and all those things begin to creep in. Amen. So nothing happened because he couldn't see it. What he saw was what he was living by. Amen. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Right? So that's why when Elisha comes in, he takes the Gehazi out of the room, because he had to get doubt out of the room. Right? Now watch what's left in the room. So now we know that we've got Elisha, we've got the staff, which means authority. The lamp's easy. The word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, right? So let's break this down. Here we go. The word is the lamp, right? Yeah. So then I begin to think about, if the staff is authority and the lamp is the word, then I begin to look in that word, the chair or the stool, when you translate that out, that part means throne. Well, that always represents some sort of authority or kingship as well. And so I thought, well, there can't be two authorities, and I realized it says table and a chair or stool, depending on what translation you have. So when you put those two together and look it up, it means a place of knowledge, as in a school setting. Right? So you got authority, you got the word, you got a place to learn the word. Right? And that bed means rejuvenation or restoration. Right? So watch what happens. So whenever they get all the doubt and all the worry and all that stuff, because the mother was worried about her, it was her child. It was her there's a place of restoration. Amen. So many times in our lives we do everything we're supposed to do, but what happens is we run out of gas, we run out of steam, and we have no restoration or rejuvenation, so God can't complete what He started in us. Well, how do you know that's true? Because nothing happened, and Gehazi left. Elisha shows up and lays on this boy and prays, right? And he begins to lay on this boy like he's supposed to, and nothing happened. But the difference between the prophet of God and the servant of God is he didn't leave and get up. He got up and started pacing back and forth and began to pray. And he said, God, I know what you said. I know what I'm supposed to do. And so I'm going to do it again because you said so. And he lined back up and got to that place again. And then the breath of God began to breathe in that child. You see, we've got to understand the difference between being a prophet and being a servant, being in a place of authority and a place of servanthood. Amen. There's a big difference. So he came, and so we've got to get to a place, church, where we have to rest when we're tired and when we're weary. Jesus, when he said, peace be still, he wasn't commanding the storm, he was commanding peace. Amen. Peace be still. We've got to understand that we have to be rested, we have to be restored, we have to be rejuvenated. Amen. Because how many people know when you get tired and weary, that's a lot of times when frustrations or disappointments or aggravations set in, then you're tired and you're weary and you're frustrated, and then it just kind of snowballs from there, right? Amen? So there has to be that place of restoration. That's what that bed means. So then you get to the table and chairs, a place of knowledge, a place of learning. Learning what? What's on it? The lampstand, the Word. Your word have I hidden in my heart that I might not sin against God. It didn't say the word have I hidden in my heart that I can have a cool Sunday school lesson or a great sermon. Right? You got to put this word in you and let it change you on the inside. Right. Amen. I need a word from the Lord. Here's a whole book full of them. Come on. Amen. See, as a young minister, when I first started this thing as a youth pastor, I'd always study the Word looking for a sermon or looking for a lesson, or, I was always trying to figure out what to tell people, not what God was trying to tell me.
That's good.
Right? And I put my family through hell because I didn't know what God said about me, but I could tell them what God said for you. I never let it change my life. Amen. So you have to have a place of restoration, of rejuvenation. Amen. You have to have a place of learning. Learning what? The Word. You've got to read this thing. You've got to put it in you. Amen. Y'all are what you eat, right? Brother, you look like you're a quarter pound away from diabetes. I'm getting there. Working on it. Right? If you put this in your life, it changes your life. Amen? It bothers me because a lot of times I know the Bible says this, but I can't remember where it said. Anybody else in the house like that? Right? But it's funny how when you're in a specific situation, pow, whack, you get right to it. It's neat. Well, that happens because you put it in your heart. You put it on the inside. Amen? If we get back to a place where we knew what God said about us and what His words were for our life. Amen? Anybody in the house besides me a fixer? Like you like to just fix everything, like try to smooth it. Anybody in the house? Am I the only fixer in the house? Oh, Dan's pointing to Jennifer. Go ahead. For all the fixers in the house, just put it up high so I know that I'm not by myself. Okay, there's fixers in the house, right? Drives you nuts when you're trying to fix other people, right? Or situations, or something at work, or right, or something in relationships or with friends. It's difficult, right? Beating your head against the wall, and they feel like they're beating their head against. And you get two fixers together. Yeah, all the fixers right there going, nah, right? Good intentions, but you got to put this word in you. Why? Because if it's changed for you, maybe you won't need so much fixing.
Right.
See, I set you up for that one. Right? So put the word in you. So what do you got in the house? You got restoration and rejuvenation, right? You got to be rested up. You've got a place of learning. Learning what? Learning the Word. Then you've got authority. Then you've got authority. Notice it says there was no breath or hearing, right? But he put the staff where? on his face, not at his feet. Put the word on the authority on his lips. We have to be careful what we speak. Amen. Careful what we say. We have to guard ourselves sometimes. Amen. When God gives you a promise, sometimes you have to guard that. Amen. Even if it's a good thing to share, sometimes you still got to guard it. Amen. When you say be guarded, you got to let people in sometimes. Place of restoration, rejuvenation, place of knowledge, learning the word, and then the authority. See, something happens, something shifts when we walk in the authority of Christ. Amen. A lot of times in our life, what happens is we know that God has called us. We know that God's got a promise for us. We know that we got words in our heart. We know that we've got a purpose, that we've got a mission, that we've got things that we're supposed to do. But we don't walk in the authority of the things that's been given to us. Amen. And so the things around us end up dying instead of living. Amen. We don't want to restore or restoration. We don't want to repent, or we don't want to rejuvenate. We don't want to get that rest. And so that we end up spiritually dying while we're trying to save everybody else. Amen. We don't learn the word, and then when the enemy comes in, we don't have any foundation or substance of anything to stand on. Amen. So then we end up dying. Right? We don't know the words that God has for us. We don't know what God's saying about our lives, so we don't have any way to battle against the enemy when he comes in. Amen. Or we don't know that we realize if we read this word, we ain't got to fight anything. We just got to stand behind the God that already won it all. Amen. Because then what happens is a whole other sermon. We end up fighting battles we were never designed to fight in the first place. We just keep worshiping God. We just stay rested. We just keep learning the word. Right? All right, so doubt and fear is out. Come on, get ready for me. Doubt and fear is out. We've got rejuvenation in there. We've got restoration in there, right? We've got a place of revelation, a place of knowledge from the word. So revelation, rest, all these other items. I'm trying to think how many R's I get. Revel. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. He's like, you had to be there to understand what that means. Anyway. So in this room, you've got restoration, rejuvenation. You do have revelation of the word. In the place of learning that word. Amen. You've got authority. Then you've got the prophet. You have Elisha. Now imagine this guy for just a minute. This Shunammite woman says, I ain't leaving you. So you might as well just get moving. This is a true, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without getting stuff thrown out. Persistence. This is a true picture of persistence. It's a lady, I don't know how to say. She tells her husband, I'm going. He says, see you. She goes, I'm not leaving until you come with me. She wasn't giving up. She was persistent, right? I'm joking, right? She was persistent. And so he goes. Now imagine him for just a moment, all right? This is Elisha, this is the man of God, this is the prophet, right? If he didn't think God couldn't do it, would he have ever went anywhere? All he had to do was say, instead of saying, okay, Gehazi, you go, and I'll go with this lady, all he had to do was say, Gehazi, get her out. That's all he had to do. She didn't go. But no, he already had enough faith before he ever left that God could do it. Amen? So he gets there and he begins to get in line, and he begins to line up with that boy. And nothing happens. So he gets off the boy and begins to pace back and forth. And this right here, what I want to hone in for just a minute, is a lot of us lose it pacing back and forth. When we have that decision to make, whether we're going to do what God told us to do, or we're going to walk away from it. Whether we're going to do what we're supposed to do, or we're going to go back to the house of God. Whether we're going to do what we're supposed to, or we're going to leave the room. See what I'm saying? Just like Gehazi did. Because Gehazi quit it, nothing happened, so he went back to the man of God, right? Like the Francis. We lose it so many times in that pacing to and fro, that back and forth. We have all the tools we need. We have restoration and rejuvenation is already there. Amen. We already have the word now, the revelation, it's already there. We already have the word, it's already there. The authority is already in the room. And when you get those things, all God needs is somebody to be obedient, somebody to be humble enough to do the things person sitting next to you can't do it for you. Your husband or your wife, your mama or your dad or your grandma can't do it for you. You got to decide that. You got to decide that. It's your place.